Hey, stunning people. My name is Beane, and welcome to the Salt Lick Sessions. Our next artist is from Boston, and as he navigates this mad world, he's creating his own space and making his own seat at the table. This is Danny Rivera.
Worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression. No expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Made to feel the way that every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. I went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Enlarge your world. Mad
We're here with Danny.
Yeah.
How you doing, Danny?
I'm well. How are you?
I like the way you said I'm well and not I'm good. That's the right way to say it, right?
I'm holding on, like present in this moment. I'm doing great.
What was it like growing up in Boston and trying to pursue music?
I think that Boston is a cool city, has a lot to offer, a lot of institutional power. And I think that the local artists navigating through those spaces can oftentimes be lost. And so finding an infrastructure that really allowed for guidance, clarity, opportunity was difficult. But I wasn't going to let it go. It was my dream. This is my dream, my dream job. And so now I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Did you find that?
I made it.
You made it. Tell me about that. What do you mean when you say that?
I had to create the room that I wanted to be in. And I still do that. I think it's a part of like
the concept of creative placekeeping. It's going into neighborhoods, going into communities, creating room for the next generation of artists to come in and experience what art really means. Expression, identity, exploration, while also embracing that experience on a deeper personal level. It takes a lot of work. It requires sacrifice, but it's I think it's been worth it. And it's not as easy as picking up my bags and moving to another city that has the climate for that. But I do think that when that time arrives, I think it would have been worth it, the sacrifice.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Is your artist project separate from the space that you create to incubate it, or are they kind of intertwined?
I think they intersect, yeah, for sure. I mean, I always recall the moment that I met Congressman John Lewis, who is a civil rights activist. He really implored on me the power of community. So did Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. And so from an activist political framework in the spirit of abolition, you know, even in the words of Nina Simone, it's the artist's duty to reflect the times. So I have a commitment. I have a duty to make sure that in whatever spaces that I'm incubating, that there's room for growth and for power, but also finding that balance with my own personal craft and art can be difficult. But I do think I use those spaces to create the art. And it's been working.
What are some of the bigger hardships that you faced in trying to create that space?
When you're building something from the ground up, isolation is a common factor.
Interesting.
People will be in the room to experience the thing, but the 4 to 6 weeks or the 6 months leading up to that thing, there are many lonely nights. And so what I battle with as an artist is making sure that there's room in my head that allows me to process some of these emotions through a creative lens, so that I can bleed and write.
I think some people maybe experience privilege in the sense that they can create art and not infuse maybe a more political side of their identity into the art that they create. But it sounds like you fuse the two in the work that you do.
Right.
Did you do that in the original that you did today?
September, and that's always the funny thing about writing. September, I think lands more on the side of love and embrace, but I still recall personal moments in my life that have caused like significant trauma. So I do recall those moments when I perform. I mean, it's hard to separate the two. Your identity is definitely attached to what you're creating. And I believe that when the two become extremely separate or so far apart, that's kind of like red flag.
I agree.
You know? We as artists don't talk about identity and the art that we're making in the same context all the time. And like understanding that even for up and coming artists, that it's sometimes difficult to balance the two because you're exploring both of them at the same time. But I think that all of us know that feeling, those feelings.
I do think it's interesting. There's definitely a certain like scale with how much identity you can fuse into the art that you want to do. And a lot of it has to do with the bandwidth you have.
Right.
I mean, I speaking for myself, I write a lot of very happy love songs because I don't have bandwidth to deal with the harder shit. And it kind of like minimizes the identity a little bit. But that's how I approach it in my artist project. It's like I'll take like the very glowing, optimistic parts of my identity and fuse it in there.
But because that's joy.
It's joy, and it's like it's easy for me to do that personally. Tell me why you chose to do Mad World.
I chose Mad World when I was a senior in high school. I learned that song. Did not really understand the full meaning, but it was the closest thing that I could relate my feelings to. I didn't really know how to express myself. So it's the one cover song that I have used to get into a program. It's just the one thing, like I'm always using that song. It's like my go-to.
Who is an artist or a song you think all of us should listen to?
Oh, Soul Sister by Bilal.
Why do you like that song?
Because you can just sink into it.
Yeah? I'm going to add as my favorite.
Turn off the lights, get a glass of wine, light an incense or a candle, and blast Soul Sister.
That sounds like my energy. That sounds like my vibe.
Have you ever danced in a room by yourself for like 30, 40 minutes because you had nothing else to do, but you just fell in love with the music so much?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I'm not tripping now.
You're not tripping. Mine was, Take Me With You by Aretha Franklin.
No, how does that go?
Take me with you. It's the deep cut. Nobody knows it.
What album is that on?
Someone when she was a little bit later in her career.
Okay, later.
And it's so good.
I only know Young Aretha.
All versions. She was out there doing Natural Woman in her fur coat. Like
You remember when she took this shit off?
Yeah, she did.
I was like, all right.
Danny, I'm really, really grateful that you had time to come in and share
course.
your gift with us today. We're better because you're here.
No, I'm better because you're here.
It was love, love brought us here, but you interfered and changed it all around. It was your love, held the key to my heart, unlocked every vision and sound. You were the one, got my hopes building up. Thinking of you, I'm a fool for your love. We're finally through, but I still can't get beyond your touch. So I will remember you in September, baby. I feel so empty. I've lived in my fears, drowned in my tears, baby. I feel so empty. I'm stuck between the lines of love and a lie. You messed up my heart and my mind. Yes, you did, yeah. You made it hard. First how you treat me, and then when you leave me, I knew that you'd leave me in the dark. You were the one, got my hopes building up. Thinking of you, I'm a fool for your love. We're finally through, but I still can't get beyond your touch. So I will remember you in September, baby. I feel so empty, yeah. I've lived in my fears, drowned in my tears, baby. I feel so empty. Sometimes I feel so empty. Now that you're not by my side, I feel, yeah. I feel so empty, yeah. I feel so empty, yeah. Lived in my fears, drowned in my tears, baby. I feel so empty.
Hey, stunning people. If you're loving our music, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe, and comment below who you want to see next.